Binance is the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange. Facebook had only just come out.
Yep.
And now you're seeing like these young kids that have grown up with like socials and so like native on camera, making content, like launching businesses.
Yeah.
I don't want to age myself. I'm all about adoption. I'd love to see crypto continue to grow. For us, we see creators as an extension of that. By partnering with people that have a really authentic, engaged audience, we're able to help educate and build that trust for what is a very still new industry.
Today's guest, James Quinn-Kumar, is the marketing director for Binance, the world's largest crypto exchange by volume and users. And today we talk a little bit about how he uses creators to grow a community for a brand that, works in a field which, let's be honest, crypto hasn't always had the most positive light behind it, and how he's used those creators and community to build a very strong brand reputation for adoption. All right, mate. Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me. Great to be here.
No, thanks for coming over all the way over to Sydney. Look, I'm looking forward to hearing a little bit about you guys and what you've been doing in the creator space. But first of all, I wouldn't mind you giving us a little backstory. Tell us about your career and where you've come from.
Sure thing. So I fell into marketing really,
Yeah.
not down the traditional, not down to the traditional route. I actually studied maths and physics at uni. I'd always been really curious in like how things work.
Yeah.
And then after that, I went into sports betting as an analyst.
Yeah.
And then slowly pivoted into more commercial roles. Yeah. And then after being in commercial roles for a few years, decided to focus on marketing and joined Facebook in London.
Okay. Yeah.
Back in 2017.
Yeah. Wow.
Which is awesome because they're obviously massive then, but they were going through some of the big challenges. Cambridge Analytica.
Yes.
And they were going through not a rebirth, but
it was a tough time.
Yeah. It was like, who are we? What are we doing here? And so it was an interesting time. And then moved into kind of a product marketing role. Yeah. Okay. Working on the Facebook algorithm. Yeah. So how the algorithm works for advertisers. Working with some of the big advertisers on how they can best game the algorithm in their favor.
Like at an organic level.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like there was an actual equation, and a component of it was the creative element.
Yeah.
And that the better you're creative, the less you'd end up paying for advertising.
Got it.
Because they want good creative on the platform.
Which essentially is still the case, right?
Yeah. It's exactly the same. Yeah. And then from that, I actually moved to Australia. Moved into a growth role for a gaming startup.
Okay.
And then from there, TikTok.
Yeah.
Again, platform side. Again, algorithm focused. I was working in the bidding optimization kind of area. But always been super curious about how things work. And then, like a lot of people, went down the crypto rabbit hole in 2020, 2021, when everyone was in lockdown. Started reading about investing. And I was just spending so much time consuming podcasts, learning about this stuff. I was like, if I actually think this is going to be a big thing in the next 10 years, I might as well move into it and learn from the inside. Yeah. And then, this role at Binance came up and it just ticked all my boxes. So, I've been here for 3 years. And crypto is pretty wild. Yeah. It's a lot more immature on the inside than I thought. I was like, oh, this is a massive industry. It's very developed. And I got in, I was like, whoa, it's still very early.
Really.
It's been fascinating to see it grow up in the last 3 years. But again, it's still so
when you
early.
say it's quite immature, what is it just system processes? What is it that makes it immature?
Systems, processes, exactly that.
Everyone's just trying to figure it out.
Everyone's trying to figure it out. It's a relatively complex area, right?
Yeah, of course.
And that's one of the things that really attracted me as a marketer. It's just how do you take this relatively complex technology and then simplify it and then communicate the benefits to people in a way that they can understand and get the utility from it. And I still think it's a massive challenge. No one's cracked it just yet. I see so much marketing in crypto and we're all trying to figure out how to grow adoption. And there's so many different ways to do that. But no one's quite figured it out. And you see different exchanges taking different approaches. We've lent into community massively and creators as an extension of that. But everyone's still trying to figure it out. So that's kind
absolutely
of what got me here.
I definitely agree with that because as I said to you off camera, I'm going to get you to explain a little bit about what Binance is, because of everyone I've talked to, only I'd say less than 10% of them actually knew what it was. They really knew what it was. And everyone who didn't know what it was had no clue. They might have heard the name maybe, but didn't know, which probably speaks to that adoption piece, that the marketing has yet crossed into that, the middle of the bell curve. We're still in early adoption phase, which is kind of crazy to think about how many years it's been happening. We're still only in early adoption phase.
Yeah.
Like, now I understand that there's some industry players and stuff that have moved things a lot long, but like the general public probably don't have a good idea yet. But first of all, tell me a little bit about, like, what does Binance do? Just for people listening going, what is this guy? What does he do? What's this company?
Yeah, I probably said a lot without actually explaining what it is. So Binance is the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange. So you can buy, trade, sell crypto, offer over 100 different crypto coins. And we're the largest by volume and users. So just last week, we ticked over 280 million
that's crazy.
Users worldwide, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah. I mean, you're about to take over Twitter.
Well,
or X, whatever you call it.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Like, a quarter of a billion people on the platform, which is super exciting.
Yeah.
But like, to your point, like, our goal, like, globally, is to onboard 1 billion people into crypto.
Wow.
So we're a quarter way on that journey. Like, locally, it's to onboard 1 million Aussies and Kiwis into crypto.
Yep.
And that mission's like only just getting started, right? I think, well, actually, today is Binance's birthday.
Oh, really?
So
there we go.
July the 14th.
Yeah.
2017 is when it all kicked off.
Okay.
And we're actually having a bit of a party tonight
nice.
down at Wharfside
Nice.
to celebrate our 8-year anniversary.
Yeah, that Amy, we got a party tonight.
Yeah, come on down.
Crazy. That's, 8 years now. That's crazy. That's crazy to think. I mean, of course it's been that long, but like, I mean, I wouldn't have really heard. I mean, I probably only heard of Binance a few years ago, but obviously knew that it had been around for a bit longer before that. Kind of thought lockdowns when all this stuff kind of happened, but it was like well and truly before that.
Yeah,
cranking through.
Yeah, just
obviously because Bitcoin's. I mean, I've heard of Bitcoin for ages, which is obviously one of the most famous places where
the OG.
The OG.
Yeah.
So of course it's been around forever.
Yeah. So what? Like, Satoshi wrote the Bitcoin white paper in 2008.
Yeah.
So what's that? 17 years ago.
Ago.
And actually, this morning, overnight, Bitcoin hit its all-time high.
Oh.
So $119,000
That's crazy, eh?
for one coin. Yeah. It's pretty wild.
That's crazy.
It's a wild journey.
It is a wild journey.
But yeah, like, to your point, like, adoption's still like really small.
Yeah.
I think the last stats I saw for New Zealand in particular was like 14% of people own crypto. Like, awareness of crypto is a lot higher. But even in our own research, like, people don't have a very strong understanding of it. And even the people that do hold it don't feel confident enough to kind of explain it necessarily.
Do you think that for the general public, they're going to hold crypto themselves, or they're going to hold it in some other investment fund that they've got, like a KiwiSaver or like superannuation or like an index fund or something? Or do you think they'll actually physically be on there trading themselves?
Great question.
Yeah.
And I'm like, work for the biggest exchange in the world, but I'm all about adoption. I'd love to see, crypto continue to grow, and whatever avenue it suits people the best, right? Like, we've just seen institutions in the US start offering ETFs in April last year, which is like opening up the category to a whole new group of people. And it's meeting people where they're at. I think the Canadian pension fund has like started allocating to crypto, like 1%. And they're traditionally quite conservative, right? So it's like a massive sign of intent for them to start allocating. But yeah, I think people will. There's such a massive culture of like investing in New Zealand and property ownership. And so people are, well, the way I see it, it's like, is it going to overhaul the entire financial system? Not sure. Not sure I want that either. But will it make up a proportion of someone's like diversified portfolio? Like, for sure.
Yeah. It is an interesting question to have because like, I think about like myself or other people I know who invest or have investments, and how many of them actually use exchanges even for the stock, like how much of them actually play there or are just going out to an index fund or something similar or an ETF or something like that. And I'd say that actually, like, even then in that space, there's very few of them who are like, say, trading stocks. is the people who are trading stocks on something like, like a Sharesies platform or Robinhood or something, are they the same? Is that the same type of trading that someone expects to be doing on Binance? Is that similar type of idea?
Yeah, for sure.
Same sort of thing, same
Yeah.
sort of product. So what is that adoption? Like, what is the adoption on stocks trading? Do you know?
No, I don't actually know.
Yeah.
But that's like our next addressable audience, right? Like people that are already comfortable investing in stocks and shares, and then, how to onboard them into crypto and get them to add crypto to their portfolio. It's quite interesting, actually. I think you tend to think crypto like traders up all hours, like in the weeds on crypto Twitter, like trading in and out coins the whole time. But a lot of our research and just chatting to people, people's behavior is a lot closer to like long term buying and holding. And we've got a term for that in crypto, hodling. Hold on for dear life. So that's kind of what it stands for. But
I love that.
Yeah, most people take that long term approach.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of my approach too for any sort of investments. Like any specific companies that I've been like early investor in or anything like, it's just like, just hold on to it. Like, I'm not here to quickly turn it around. So the one thing with crypto, the only reason I haven't gone into it, and maybe you can explain to me why I'm silly for doing this, is that I actually just couldn't be bothered figuring it out. Like, I always thought that there's something more. I needed some wallet. I needed all sorts of stuff. Like, whereas like putting my money into an ETF, like, is real easy. I can just do it through my bank. Like, I don't have to do too much. I can just go click in some buttons and buy the thing I want. Why is that? Why am I silly there? Like, why? I've never bought crypto yet. I've invested in lots of different things. Why? Am I right in saying that? Like, is it more complicated, or is it actually not? Is it super easy?
Yeah, well, it's like, you're very familiar with like investing in companies, starting companies, and the approach you take to understand the business model, understand whether or not it's a good investment, like that fundamentally is the same approach you should take to crypto. Like, what is like the white paper of this coin? Like, what is it trying to achieve? Say Bitcoin's more like digital gold. It just kind of sits there. There's only ever going to be 21 made. There's a schedule of when it's going to be released. It's pretty solid. Not going to change. And so for a lot of people, that's like the fundamental like investment thesis. Ethereum, they said it's the world's computer. Like, you can develop smart contracts and there's a bit more functionality. Now, whether you want to go down the rabbit hole and learn what all that functionality is kind of up to you. But you can just take a very simple approach to just understanding the fundamentals of the coin and whether or not you believe in its like long-term upside.
What about just like physically buying it? Like, that was also a thing for me. Like, there's more hurdles rather than just like in my banking app. You know what I mean? Like, once I've found the coin I want to buy, is there more barriers? Am I wrong in thinking that there's more barriers to overcome than just like?
I'd say it's pretty simple on Binance. Like, you set up your account, as if you would on like a normal share account. Do your identification and then deposit some funds and just buy any coin you want.
And so you like have a cash balance and then just your coins balance, like coins and then the balance on that. So it's not like, and that there. So this thing I hear about, like, I need my wallet. That's just my Binance account.
So Binance is a centralized exchange. You can just buy crypto there and keep it there forever. And we have millions, hundreds of millions of users worldwide that are doing that. You can also, set up your own wallet, cold wallet. It can get very like technical, but I'd start simple.
It's just sign up Binance. Okay.
And then, in the future, like we're already seeing in the US, it's, you can potentially buy it through ETFs. And
buy that way. Okay, interesting. Anyway, that was a side note. That was just me wanting to for myself. You talked a little bit about growing through community and creators, and we talked a little bit off camera about it as well. But I'm really interested in this and what you guys have done to grow quite a big presence in your world. We talked about Cristiano Ronaldo, huge celebrity, probably one of the biggest celebrities in the world. But like, tell me about that journey. Like, why use creators and famous people and to grow it as opposed to like Well, it's not opposed to, actually. It's what a lot of people have done. Like, why take that approach, though? Why go after the big names, as big as Cristiano Ronaldo, which, like you said off camera, you probably can't tell me how much you make, but it was probably a shitload of money. But then also all the other creators. Like, tell me that approach. Like, what's the thinking behind it all?
So Binance, like historically, it's been very community focused, and it got to like world #1 exchange by focusing on low fees, security, and just like a really great product. But also listening intently to the community and understanding what the community wanted out of an exchange, and being very reactive and building the products and services to meet them where they're at.
Cool.
And so for us, we see creators as an extension of that. In an industry that's like very nascent and technical and probably didn't have the best rep in the past, it's really important for us to help educate and build trust with the community. And creators are, the new form of like media. We're seeing less people trust traditional media, and they're getting most of their news from socials, and the accounts they follow are the people they trust to give them that information. And by partnering with people that have a really authentic, engaged audience, we're able to help educate and build that trust for what is a very still new industry. And that's kind of the approach we've been taking. So it started very organically. Obviously, as we've grown, we've had the opportunity to partner with like some of the biggest names in sport. If not, like the biggest. Which is awesome. But for us, it's creators at like all levels, really. We partnered with an awesome kid here in Auckland, Zeshan Bari, and he runs Bari's Pizzas. So for Bitcoin Pizza Day, we did a collaboration with him.
I love it.
And he had like Bitcoin pepperonis on the pizzas. We gave out like 400 pizzas.
I love that.
New Zealand Tech Week, and it's just, he has got such an engaged, passionate following, and he is so passionate about what he does. It's just awesome. Like, you feed off that energy. Especially for someone like me. Like, I don't want to age myself, but when I was at uni, like Facebook had only just come out. And now you're seeing like these young kids that have grown up with like socials and so like native, on camera, making content, like launching businesses, and it's just awesome partnering with them. Like, it gets such a buzz from it, and like we learn so much, right? Well, me personally, just like how they approach it, and they're just so native.
Mate, I mean, it's half my team here, like the young guys in the team. So like our team's like half old advertising guys and then half young creators, and the creators are just like, it's just crazy how simple it is. Like, just the other day, a good example is like, we had a long table. We had a farewell dinner for one of the staffs. Long table, maybe 20 people on it. One of the millennials in the team sitting on one end of it. She turns around, like someone's like, "Oh, take a photo of everyone." She's turning around, she's sitting there trying to take this photo. Here's my phone here. So she's like this, trying to do this. And then on the other end is Joni, who's like 25. She's like, "Put your phone down." Turns around. She turns around. She's got her phone like this and just nails it. First time, perfect photo. And Libby's like, "I've never felt so old in my life until this moment right here." And like, Libby's not even that old. She's like 30. But, just how simple and native they are to understanding, like, one, how cameras, like how to just utilize the technology that they got and then post and do the things. So trust me, I feel old every day in this office. You said something there about like they've got this energy that you watch them do it, they're native. What's Binance's approach to briefing these creators? Like, how do you brief them in? Is it just like, I've seen a lot of briefs for creators come in before and they're like quite strict and structured. And then on the other side of it, there's some brands who are just like, go for gold. You just can't do 1, 2, 3. Where does Binance sit in that sort of
Probably in the latter, right? I think when it comes to investing, there are obviously some like rules you have to follow about not giving out financial advice, and speculating. And so there's some like guardrails, and we share those with any of our partners ahead of time. It's just like, you've got the freedom to do what you do best. And we're partnering with you because we love what you do. But just avoid this and that. But yeah, it's each conversation's different.
Yeah. Okay.
And we're kind of led by the partner.
Yeah.
We really love it when people are passionate about obviously what they're doing, but have a really strong interest in crypto.
Yeah.
I think it's really important because, at the end of the day, we want to help educate and increase awareness. And so if they're just like doing a brand deal and no interest in the underlying service or don't use it themselves, it doesn't really click.
Yeah.
We're really passionate about partnering with people that are into it.
Yeah. So giving them that freedom because they know the audience best. They're going to make the best content, but as long as they're not doing the things that, you just can't do.
Yep.
You're actually just wanting them to talk with their community about why they like a certain thing or how they're maybe using it themselves. And then you see that getting the best results.
Yeah. That's it, right? Because adoption is going to come, in different waves, right? And I used to have this conversation with my team like 3 years ago. The thing that got the first million people in like Australia and New Zealand's crypto is going to be very different to the thing that gets like the next 10 million. Yeah. And so when we're partnering with creators, we really encourage them to share like their journey. Cool. Because everyone's at like a different stage. Yeah. I've been in the industry 3 years, but I don't know everything about crypto. There's stuff like coming out all the time. I'm learning every day. Yeah. But just people sharing where they're at in their journey, I think is really helpful for people following them, because it's like, you don't need to be like a subject matter expert in X, Y, Z coins. But I trust this person and they're learning and I'm learning with them. For example, we're doing a partnership with Jack Robinson, the surfer. Yeah. So he came second in the Olympics last year. Yeah. Cool. Really cool guy. Yeah. And he's quite open. Like he doesn't know much, but he's really keen to learn. Cool. Yeah. And his wife's actually really into it. So cool. as a couple together, they're like navigating crypto investing together, which is like awesome. Yeah. He's really cool to work with, and traveling the world, different countries. He's seeing crypto adoption. He's really interested to kind of learn more. But again, just encouraging him to kind of share his story. Yeah. He's not like an expert, and he'll admit that he's not an expert himself. Yeah. But they're the kind of partnerships that we've seen do particularly well.
Yeah, nice. Interesting. Like, why? I mean, I kind of know why, but can you explain a little bit more, like the sports people? Like, why are they a good partnership for a finance or for Binance? Like, it's interesting.
Sports, I'm passionate. I love sports. I used to work for a sports betting company back in London. Be surrounded by sports, but there's something to sports, right? Yeah. There's a reason why so many brands kind of partner with sports teams and different. I have conversations with different leagues, clubs, individuals. There's something. There's the aspirational nature, like everyone's striving to achieve something in sport, and I think there's a lot of crossover with, the aspirational nature of crypto and that like financial freedom that potentially get through investing in the space. Okay. But it's an interesting one. Like different brands have taken different approaches. Like some of our competitors on the exchange side have really lent into certain sports over others. At a local level, for us, we're really interested in partnering with the individuals. Some of our competitors, sponsoring teams and the like. But I think and especially for me personally, like I find it super interesting when you're following someone. And hearing their story, and it's like a lot more authentic, and also from a brand perspective, like you get so much more like access, and like it's just a conversation. We'll jump on a call with Jack, for example, and just like brainstorm stuff. And cool. He's like super open to it and flexible, and he's got some of his own ideas on what he wants to do. If you're partnering with like a team, those conversations involve a lot more stakeholders. So
I was thinking the same thing, and actually it was why I asked, is because I personally would also think sports sites are great. Like that wasn't a criticism of the advertising. I actually think it's great. I actually think supporting or sponsoring a whole team is a lot more risky, maybe, as an advertising platform. I don't think it is bad. I think if you do it right, you can do it really well. One of our clients, One New Zealand, sponsors the Warriors, and they've made the most of that sponsorship, and those two, the Warriors and One New Zealand, go hand in hand, and people think of them together.
Yeah.
And to be fair, it's been good for us because we run NZ social. So being able to leverage the Warriors to grow the social is really good. But then, there's plenty of other, there's actually plenty of other sponsors of the Warriors. And none of them get associated with the Warriors as the One NZ do. There's heaps of them, like at least a dozen more that sponsor the Warriors, but they would never be considered the sponsor. And it's kind of also even same when I think New Zealand sport teams with the All Blacks, although there's they'll have this main sponsor on their shirt. Everyone knows it's the Adidas is the main sponsor of the All Blacks, and then kind of all the rest just pay all this money. I mean, don't stop paying the money because pay for these sports teams. I get it. There is still a commercial reason for it. I get it. But I think you're probably you're paying a premium for that piece. Whereas actually, if I was to sponsor the All Blacks and say Adi Savia, who's got a great presence on socials and his audience love him and will listen to anything he says, there's probably a way, like you're saying with Jack.
Yeah.
As a way closer connection to the audience than you are going to get at a team level, right? So I actually think that's really clever, and I think that for other people, or brands listening, I don't think there's enough here in New Zealand. I don't know what it's like in Australia as much, but I don't think there's as much in New Zealand at that personal level. Yeah. To the same level, I would rather pay the same amount almost for the top individual than a team. Maybe not, but you know what I mean? I think you're paying a premium for the team, but not getting the same.
Yes. Yeah.
Same response back. Anyway, I'm going on a tangent. Okay, so you've got these creators that you're paying, you're letting them do their thing, you're doing the sports stars and whatnot. If you, of a budget of marketing, you don't have to tell me obviously dollar figures, but as a percentage, roughly, even if it's ballpark, how much goes into that space compared to other advertising or other marketing? Do you know roughly?
For us locally, it's an increasing amount. Yeah. I'd say probably 25 to 30%.
Yeah, okay, sure, that's quite big.
Yeah, I imagine that's that's definitely gonna increase. Yeah. Not least because, as I mentioned before, traditional media. Well, crypto's new, right? And it's a disruptor. Yeah. And traditional media hasn't necessarily always been a fan of crypto. And so it's harder to get positive news stories out there through some traditional media outlets sometimes. And there's a lot of positive news stories to kind of share about crypto and adoption. And so we definitely work with traditional media outlets, but I think at a global level, we're starting to understand that actually having a direct relationship with our followers and, creators through socials can have more impact, and you can get the stories out quicker and more effectively. And so I think we'll see some of our traditional PR budgets start to be channeled into creative partnerships.
Yeah, interesting.
Which, I think is super interesting.
Is PR, traditional PR stuff, still quite a large percentage of spend too?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to give the numbers, but it's still quite a big portion of it.
Yeah, but that will start getting reallocated.
What about digital marketing, advertising, and Google and Meta and whatnot, and pushing those spends? Is that the biggest budget, or how does that play into? Can you advertise very well in that space as Binance?
Yeah, traditional paid advertising. We can do. Some platforms are more open than others. Meta's pretty open. Google less so, but I think that's starting to change. Okay. That was definitely the case in my previous industries as well, like gaming. Google was slower to open up. Yeah. But we're seeing it now. Starting to do more in that space. So paid ads definitely.
It's still the biggest portion of spend.
Still a large proportion. But I think again, we're trying to see how we can use creators and use creators' content in our paid ads, because I think a lot of our paid ads, a lot of investing, advertising is kind of samey. And we're trying to figure out, and it's a constant challenge for my team, to test different creatives all the time, see what's working. But that creator-led creative. I think we start using more of that in our paid ads and seeing better returns.
That's been that's the reason for the success that we've had as a business is all the paid agencies who have been most of their successes come from the fact that like you really could just put in $1 and get $2 out for a long time. It started to dwindle, as most people know. Like your cost per acquisition is not as good as it used to be, and all the different things. And then now creative is sort of sitting as a differentiator. But of like going, how do we create, which you guys have done quite well, is like how do you create an audience first and an ecosystem of like content and whatever that performs great, either organically or in collaboration with creative partners. And then if it works well there, that's obviously the creative that you're going to put money behind.
Yep.
Right? Because we already know it's good.
Yeah.
Just put it in front of more people. And that so many businesses still aren't thinking that way. Maybe when they've got bigger budgets, they start to just do everything. So they are doing it just by default. But how much of your ad creative is actually coming from that organic space? Do you still have like a big portion of creative that's just like specifically made to run ads?
Yeah.
And is that just something you're trying to shift more? Is that the goal?
Yeah, 100%. So in the organic content that we're seeing perform particularly well, we want to take that, push spend behind it. And we've done that with work with another partner in Australia called Fonzie Gomez.
Okay.
He's got like 2 million followers on TikTok, about 600K on Instagram, and it's like win-win, right? Like the creator, we're like, oh, Fonzie, this creative's working really well. Can we run it in our paid ads? And he's like super supportive because it pushes like his brand out there and gets spend behind him and increases his like reach. So we found it's like mutually beneficial for both the creators and us. And that's like an awesome way. Like that's like when the partnership's winning for both. That's what
absolutely. I've tried to say that to creators plenty. Like if a brand's gonna go and put 100K behind your piece of content, like do you know how many views it is? Like do you know how much that pushes you out? And also like because there's often like a lot of talent agents we're having to say like your usage fees are just too high here. Like these guys are getting just as much benefit of being pushed as the brand is by pushing them. Like usage fees, I get it. People gotta make money, I get it. But they're extortionate fees that are actually limiting the overall growth of your talent, and also that they're just not going to get the money anyway because the brand's just going to say, oh well, we'll go to the next creator. We'll do us a better deal. Like some of the usage rates were pretty extreme, like some of the stuff that I've seen come through. When you think about that, like are you is it Fonzie, did you say? Are you paying, is it purely mutually beneficial where he's just like getting paid for the content and then you guys are pushing it and he's just getting the benefit of that? Or do you have usage fees and stuff as well? Or is it all different? I mean, you don't have to speak to Fonzie in particular, but is that just something you negotiate with each particular talent?
Yeah, it's on like a case by case basis. We've actually had quite a long-term partnership with Fonzie going back 4 years maybe. He's traveled the world. He was in Bhutan actually a couple of months ago with our CEO because we just did a big Binance Pay integration with Bhutan Tourism Board. So you can pay with crypto in any outlet in Bhutan. And he went over there and was documenting like his journey paying with Binance. And so he's awesome. We love working with him. He's like so down to earth. Like
that's proper partnership.
And so with him, like we've come to an agreement where he's like more than happy for us to kind of push out his stuff and test it on ads, which is awesome. And also on different platforms, right? Like he I was having a conversation with him last week. He's obviously got like he gets short form video. He's like nailed the street interview, his like interview style. But he doesn't do anything on YouTube. And so I was like, Fonzie, we're seeing some success from YouTube Shorts. Especially with the creator content with a few of the creators we're working with. And we're like, do you mind if we push this out on Shorts? And he was like, yeah, go for it. He's like, it's not something I've necessarily spent too much time on, but he was happy for us to kind of use it. So it's like, I think having that open dialogue with creators is really important because like at the end of the day, they're all businesses and they're all like different. Like we work with some agencies, but much prefer like the direct relationship. And you can just have those conversations and turn around things like super quick. Which is awesome.
I do think that I mean they hate it when I say this probably, but the talent agencies, I do think the model hasn't shifted fast enough, in especially New Zealand and Australia. I think that there's a lot of talent agent models. I mean, it's completely different in the US because their whole structure is different in the US, but in say UK and whatnot, it's they're adapted to this new world so much faster than what New Zealand, Australia, and still in New Zealand, like we struggle as an agency because we don't do talent management, but we'll often need talent for brands, and you get stuck at, like, you find the talent and you get stuck at the talent agent just going, no, we're not going to do that deal because it doesn't meet this thing that we need to do. And it's like, over the course of a year, it's $250,000. Like, what have you got a problem with? Like, that creator didn't make that last year. Like, I don't understand. Do the fucking deal. Do the deal. Your creator wants it. Everyone wants it. The brand wants it. But the agencies are struggling to, like, fit it inside their box, which is kind of interesting. So tell me, for other brands listening, like, how do you get that direct relationship? How did that work? Is it just you forged it over time, or do you just seeking out people who maybe aren't necessarily managed? Like, how do you find them?
Yeah, that's a great question. Like, as marketers, we obviously consume like a lot of content ourselves, and keep on top of like the content that's kind of performing well. And so more often than not, we'll just like slide in someone's DMs and strike up a conversation. And sometimes they're like, oh yeah, reach out to my manager, this agency. But more often than not, they're happy to like, start something. Which is cool. Especially like, I guess historically we were very much focused on Twitter or X. That's where a lot of like crypto lives. But as we grow and as, like I said, when you're trying to onboard the next billion, like those people aren't on crypto Twitter. So it's like meeting those audiences and meeting those people where they are. And so we're probably starting to tap up more like lifestyle content. And, like Barry is an example. He's got his own business doing pizzas. Jack's a surfer. Bonzi's like street interview. Like, they're all doing very different things, but like, not overlapping with like your traditional crypto audience. And so, people are open to it when we slide into their DMs. So at least have the conversation.
And then on that, there's a lot of like crypto in that whole world gets a lot of stick for being, a little bit scammy, a little bit dodgy, especially like the NFT craze that happened in 2020 to 2022. A lot of people got burned. A lot of people heard about crazy stuff. Are you ever worried about these creators? Like are their brands getting damaged by being part of it? Like, is there any concern there? Like, how do you protect them from the general public's thought that maybe it's a scam or whatever? Like, how does that world play into? How do you guys think about it? Like, it's a big question, but like, how do you think about this problem? Because it still is, right? A little bit that some people still look at crypto as scammy.
Like I said, crypto historically has had like a really bad rep. And I think, like you mentioned, that run up in 2020, 2021, NFT craze in 2022, was huge, and it brought on board like a whole bunch of new people. And I'm sure you've got mates and who were just like jumping into crypto for the first time then. And then the market obviously went down after that, and a lot of people did get burned, or were left like with crypto, which wasn't worth as much. And so again, it kind of feeds into the negative perception, the volatility. And even now, actually, we're not seeing like I mentioned Bitcoin hit an all-time high overnight. It's the highest it's ever been. But Google search trends for crypto is still like down versus that period in 2021, 2022. Because a lot of people did get hurt. And so we think about it a lot, and we not trying to fix crypto's reputation, but it's definitely something I think about. And so when it comes to partnering with creators, you want to make sure, like I said, that they're into it and that they get it and that they understand it, because you don't want to be forcing someone to say something that they're not fully comfortable with. And so like if they do get it, if they do have like an investment in crypto, then it's a two-way process. They're going to do their due diligence, like find out who Binance are, whether or not they want to partner with us, and we'll do our due diligence and see kind of what they promoted before, and see how they talk about brands in their content. It's a conversation you kind of have to have with people individually.
It's a difficult one. It's a difficult one, but I think you're right. Like, it's a case by case, slow and steady. I actually think crypto is awesome. I just haven't invested because I'm honestly lazy.
You got so much other stuff on the go.
Oh, so much other stuff. I'm putting so much money into everything else. But I actually think it's awesome. I think more people, I think like everything in investment, it's all about diversification. And that if you put all your money into crypto, you're probably not doing the right thing. But same as if you put all your money into particular stocks or just property or just whatever or cash, like spread your risk and put it everywhere for proper good long-term investment. I think there's people who could definitely trade, but that's not everyone. And it's probably not most people.
No.
But there are people who can like hold certain coins, buy it for the long term, put some money in that, let it, like you talk about Bitcoin being the gold, just holding some gold for a long period of time, store your wealth. For creators, as we start to wrap this conversation up, like for creators listening who are like, I would love to, one, I'm really into it, or I'm starting my journey, I'm really passionate. Like, how would they talk to a brand like yourself to show the value that they could offer you? Like, if someone's listening and going, man, I'd love to collab with these guys and do something, like, what could they do to show to you we're worthwhile? Like, what's the pitch? How do they pitch to you?
Our DMs are always open, right? So follow us on Insta, Twitter, and just slide in. If you've got an idea, like we're all ears. Like I said, really keen to partner with young, well, not necessarily young, but ambitious.
I was going to say, so I'm out. Okay, right,
creators who are like just full of energy and passionate about what they're doing. Because I think there's like so many more avenues to kind of explore. And we're open for it, right? Like, we're the world's largest exchange by volume of users, but like locally, we're still kind of startup mentality and still kind of scrappy. And so we're keen to kind of have that conversation. Cool. And like more long term, like I'm really bullish. Like obviously bullish crypto, moved into the industry, but bullish like creators. When as I mentioned, when I was at uni, I've ended up working for some amazing companies, innovative companies that have like reframed how we consume media. TikTok, for example. But TikTok doesn't produce any of its own content. Like everything on there is made by someone, a creator. Whether they got one follower or 50 million. And right now, like it's really hard for creators to monetize. I know we talked about agencies and being gatekeepers, and the business model of the internet is generally advertising. But with Web3, I'm really bullish on creators owning their own content. And that digital ownership, meaning that they can monetize it more effectively. And I think there's so much more to be built out in that space, which reframes like the business model and gives them more like ownership and actually accrue the value from the creations that they're making. Super bullish on that. It'd be interesting to see how it plays out. But
it's a tough one. I know what you're saying, and I think I agree with you. How it plays out will be interesting, and what are the forces at play that which way it goes and whatnot. I think that you're right that the creators they're gaining more power as creators because they're no longer limited to one platform either. Like their content's now working across all platforms. So platforms are fighting to keep creators and whatnot. So I think creators are probably winning a lot of that battle at the moment, purely out of the fact that the platforms are had to compete. And so they're actually the ones winning from it all. So I'm keen to see how it plays out too. I think you're probably right in the long term, but it's going to take a long time. It's a lot of infrastructure that needs to be built, which is probably a lot of it. Hey, we're running out of time, but that was awesome. Thank you so much. A good insight into some stuff that I had no clue about, and super cool to see a brand and a business, especially like, you talk about sort of startup mentality. It might have been like 8 years now that you've been around, but that's kind of takes 10 years to make a good business, right? I don't see a lot of businesses talk as openly and as positively around the creator community as what you have, and the brief that you guys sent through and stuff before this thing, like just that's so cool. Like I don't see a lot of it, and trust me, like we deal with so many businesses trying to get them to do more of this stuff, this UGC or created generated content is really tough. And so well done, man. Awesome work.
Thanks for having me.
Cool, thanks.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, cheers. All right, done. Thank
Sweet.
you. That was awesome. Thank you.